Alright, guys, I guess it's time to go ahead and give my personal opinion. Now, I've talked about it before, and I would like to let you know I have finally beaten Mario RPG. This is the first time I've played it. I don't have any retrospect on the old one at all. Never got to play it. I just know there's a secret boss, which I didn't find, and yeah, I have to say the game was not bad. Like I said, this is just it's a remake of an old game, obviously. And as much as I've shit on people, or companies bringing remakes out, this is actually kind of a breath of fresh air. And it kind of shows how Nintendo as a company and their Mario brand don't really make bad games. But I guess I'll get down to the details. While it's my first time playing it, it does feel familiar. And I will say the game itself plays really well. I do like actually all the abilities that come with it. Much like early times as a teenager, your first time rubbing one out, kind of feels like that. Very basic. Anything would have just got you off, and not much to it. The sad part about the game is it is way too easy. I hate to say it. It's from beginning to end was easy. Now, don't get me wrong, it may have been because my first little interaction with it was a little tough for a second, and then I just kind of power leveled. Doesn't take much, just gotta level up about 4 or 5 times, and then after that, you pretty much breeze through the game. And they are so forgiving that at some point you get a reset coin, which I think out of 2 fuck-ups I did, I got to reset twice, and beat the boss the second round. And I will say, thank God there is a autosave feature, because that would have pissed me off probably 2 good times. Now, that's my fault. It's not the game's fault for it being so far and in between. I mean, I should have saved more. Now, the beginning, you start off with the map. It's obviously, you're just doing a circle. It's not much to it. The maps are the levels are varying in their design completely. It's unique every single time. There's not much to even argue about it. Actually, it looked great in every single new area. Now, they were pretty much rinse and repeat on what you did. And by that, I mean every one of them was just so bare bones. You had an inn, you had somewhere to buy your items, and if it was weapon-based, go ahead and just buy those weapons, because they were going to be better, and it's going to be stronger, it's going to help you in the next area, and then you can just pretty much just slap around every enemy that came by. Wasn't a big deal. Go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one. It pretty much was, rinse and repeat. And then you had a few things that changed. Now, I don't know if they exactly played like that in the original game. I didn't get to play that, which I've said probably time and time again. Sorry, I repeat myself and forget that I said something. But down to the characters, now there's not very many. You only pick up a few. One of them ends up being a prince, which you don't know about until later on. And then the other one becomes essentially Jesus. Not trying to be jarring. Post-edit me again. Yeah, I also forgot there's 2 others. You do get Peach, you do get Bowser. I don't think I mentioned that really after this. I do mention that I use Bowser in my team, but Peach is used too. You get her later. That's kind of my fault. Apologies. I'm joking. It's more of an angel. It was somebody that comes down from the sky, part of the star people or whatever you want to call them. And then he invades a little puppet that's from a child, which ends up being like the coolest fucking character, Geno. Now, I don't know what their original names were in anything. I know they go by Geno in English. That being said, Geno's a badass. Pretty much he's a puppet. Pinocchio. He's like Pinocchio, just, badass and knows how to fuck shit up. A real Lies of Peace type character. I mean, just slapping the shit out of everybody. Now, they give you an arbitrary thing when you level up. After you level up, you get to choose 1 of 3 options, which will be attack and defense, health and something, and then magic-based stuff, which is magical attacks and defense against magic, stuff like that. I found it pointless. Since only really 2 characters use magic that amount to anything, and the other 3 are pretty much just powerhouses that start out with a good high, attack. I pretty much Mario, Geno, and Bowser, and threw attack on them the whole way. About halfway through the game, that's when they start changing it up a little bit, because some of the characters, some of the bosses aren't really, they're not loyal to anybody. They're just assholes. They're holding on to a piece of star for no reason. Now, if there is a detailed reason, no, I didn't really pay that much of attention, because, I mean, honestly, it was the gameplay being so repetitive. I kind of droned out a little bit, watched some YouTube on my other TV while playing the game. But the fact that you're repetitively hitting the same button over and over, and you can just do attack, and you do have to hit it at some points, obviously, to get like a critical. That's about it. And if you kind of know what you're doing, it wasn't that difficult. It was pretty simple. Now, this seems like I'm dogging the game, and I'm not. It's you can tell it's from dated mechanics. It's definitely old, and it's only around 10 hours long. I think it took me about 15. Why I say 10 hours is usually everybody can beat it quicker than me. I'm fairly slow. Put it this way, I did not play it nonstop over the weekend. I actually also played Naruto, which is disappointing me more and more, but I'll get to that when I beat it. But in RPG, the Mario RPG, some of the bosses were real creative, really cool. I enjoyed every one of them. Now, to say Bowser's Castle is a bitch is a bit of an understatement. I fucking hated it. Now, call me stupid, but I didn't like a lot of the puzzles. Now, that was just me. I got over them, was able to figure them out, but because I don't remember half the damn game, the trivia ones made me look like an idiot. That's completely my fault. There's not the game's fault. It's just I didn't pay enough attention. Now, I think we can all agree, if you haven't played the game, or if you have, well, here's the thing. The platforming sucks. I mean, and it's weird because it's a Mario game, and Mario's known for being, the number one platforming titles in the world, pretty much. It's so stiff, it takes a minute. You can't just jump over and over. And while that was probably good for the time back on SNES, being that it was isometric, it doesn't work too well now. Because you had this full 3D range, but you could only go in these certain angles to jump, but I'd fall off a lot trying to go up something and just get a little pissed off more and more. There was a little nod to the old Mario Jumpman game back in the day, which was the King Kong game, or the old Donkey Kong game, which was a nod back. You had basically it was Donkey Kong at the top, and he's just throwing barrels. He's a average character, or average enemy that you run into pretty early in the game anyway, but that's who's throwing barrels down the whole time, and that, if you know what I'm talking about, fuck that. That pissed me off very much. Maybe because it's a skill issue. I suck. Sorry. I just rather play Dark Souls than that shit. But overall, it wasn't really a terrible game. I actually enjoyed all the abilities were kind of cool. The fact that it's a short game makes it a little bit better because now I'm not having to wait, 60-hour game with very little in it. I mean, it's a short game, so what it has in it, as far as the story and some of the side stuff you can do, it's pretty decent. Now, I wouldn't say it was probably worth the full price. I probably would have knocked it down another $10. But overall, it's still, like I said, it played well. Now, the ending, which I don't know if this would be a spoiler alert. It's kind of an old fucking game, so I guess I'll put it in the title that there's a spoiler if you kind of need to know that by now. But you win. The sword guy isn't the bad guy. It's a smithy dude. I forget the name of the guy. I just beat it like about an hour ago, and yeah, his area was kind of shit. I didn't like it because there was a little bit of extra platforming. Now, none of the puzzles were super hard for it, so I ran through it. I ran through those little nights that they have like the little one-on-one conversation with each of your party members. Then you get to the main guy, and the first cycle, or the first what do you call it? The first phase. You don't know how long I just had to skip to this point, and I was stuck on phase. I don't know why. But the first phase is fairly easy, but you've already pretty much ran through the game, and you're low on items and shit. I mean, I bought a few, and I made a few mistakes, so that was my fault. So I just let my party die, and then I had to go redo everything. Because phase 2 whooped the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I struggled. I don't know why. I could have been one hit away and he was probably dead. But I won't know. The second time I ran through it, I pretty much smoked everything. It was fairly easy, and then that's when the ending comes. You get the long cutscene. Gino's spirit goes back to, God, whatever Mario's God is, Italian God of Bowser to land. But it goes back up to the stars. It becomes one big unified star, and then you get to long cutscenes. At the end, it's fireworks. And depending on, from what I understand, what you bought in fireworks, it will change the ending a little bit. As far as what the fireworks will look like, or how many you get, stuff like that. I didn't get any, so I didn't get shit. That's all that cool. So that's my fault, yet again. A lot of these failures are my fault. I'm not going to try to dig into the game itself. I will say, for a remake, for a remaster, essentially, good coat of paint. It's like a used car, but like fully refurbished. All the jizz stains are out of the car, everything. So you don't have to worry about stepping in caked on dried nut. It's a good game. I liked it. It was a good thing for the weekend. I just wish it was a little longer. I thought it would be a longer game, but then again, I don't know what to expect from an SNES first attempt at Mario RPG. Now, that being said, the next game I'm waiting for that's Mario based is going to be The Thousand Year Door, another game I haven't played. I mean, I missed out on a lot of Nintendo stuff in my teens, from my childhood to my teens. So it's going to be cool to actually see that and play it for the first time. Other than that, I say this game probably is a good solid 8. Say 8 out of 10. And if you want to talk about inches, I guess I'll give it a good 3 out of 5. 3.5 inches out of 5. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was a good game. Nice little weekend beat. And that wasn't even giving it all my attention. I mean, I literally did other things this weekend. It was just something to kind of play a few hours Friday or Saturday morning. And then when I woke up Saturday evening and then all day today. So other than that, I guess I'll be playing Naruto. So yeah, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, however you want to do it. That's fine with me. It does not hurt my feelings. I've been seeing a lot more views as of lately on certain videos, which I'm appreciating them. Some are doing better than others, but I'm not arguing. I'm doing this in my spare time, and I appreciate any type of interaction I've been getting. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. Y'all have a good one.